Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do a watch me work. So I'm going to remove this product, this design, and show you how I did the Rose Quartz design with gem placements as well. So if you'd like to see how I do a Rose Quartz design, just keep on watching. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my cuticle pusher and push back the cuticles. I don't have a whole lot of growth on this design because I think I only had them on a week, maybe not even a week, and I decided, hey, I want rose quartz nails. So off they came. So I am using a medium grit arbor sanding band. Usually I use a zebra sanding band, but I'm running low. So I thought, well, this is just on myself. I'll use up my red arbor bands. And I'm not taking off a whole lot of the product because like I said, I just did my nails maybe like not even a week prior to filming this video. And I just want to take the color gel off, not the product underneath off, because it's basically new. So I'm just kind of doing a design change. If this was a client that came in after 3 to 4 weeks, I would be using a more durable bit like Mean Green or the Texas Tornado or something like that. But I don't need such a harsh bit for just taking off gel color. So now I'm just taking off the excess dust and looking to see if there's any more filing I do need to do, and there's not. So what I'm doing here is I'm measuring the nails to make sure that they are the same length. My left hand was longer. Actually, the set of nails that I had, my nails were longer and I needed to shorten them up a little bit. So that's what I'm doing at this point, is just shortening up the length of the pointed almond and just refining the shape before I move on to the next step. So normally I stick to one finger until I'm done filing, but I saw a squirrel and I had to go back to my index finger here and then back to my middle finger. Yeah, I don't usually do that. I usually stick to one finger, finish doing the filing needed, and then move on to the next finger. The next step is I will take 99% isopropyl alcohol and get all that dust off, making sure that I get the dust that's in the crevices of the side walls as well. And I'm just putting tack on near the cuticle because there is a bit of natural nail showing. So I want to make sure that the gel that I apply onto the nail doesn't lift. And then I'm going to cure for 30 seconds in my LED lamp. So I chose to use pink one step for a couple of reasons. One, the viscosity, it's nice and thin, and I'm going to get the look that I want, and the color of the pink is the exact color that I want. So you can do this with a gel polish that is sheer. I don't have a sheer pink, and I thought that the one step would be that perfect pink I was looking for. So as you can see here, I put a slip layer down, and then I'm going in to just kind of build that apex back up and get more of an opaque coverage with the pink. Now, I don't have to be too picky here because I will be using art inks, and it just covers up any sheerness that there might be from overfiling. So I gave my thumb a flash cure before I moved on to my fingers, and I'm doing the same steps here. I'm putting on a very thin layer of the one step, then going in with a little bit of a bigger bead and just kind of moving the gel towards the free edge, almost in a painting motion, but more so a floating motion, making sure my apex is where I want it, flash curing it, and then going on to the next finger. So that's what you're going to see here in this next little bit of the video. So as you can see, I'm not using very much gel. I don't want to use a lot of gel and have to do a lot of filing because the nails are pretty much already shaped the way I want them. I'm just making sure that the apex is back a little bit further because these are longer and I want that opaque pink coverage. Then when I'm done with this finger, I will put my hand in my lamp for another full 30 seconds for a complete cure. Now I'm just taking the dispersion layer off and I'm going to do a little bit of refining the shape, filing to refine the shape, I should say, and buffing. Now the buffing I did do off camera because there wasn't a whole lot of filing I needed to do. So after I'm done filing, I'll get rid of all the dust with alcohol, and then we're going to go in with Apres number 13, and it's from their metallic art ink collection. And I'm using this brush, Simply Simmons number 2, and this is from Michaels, and I'm using acetone to disperse the art ink. And especially with the metallic art inks, make sure you give them a really good shake before you use them. So I didn't apply matte top coat to the nails because I've buffed the nails matte and I just thought it was a step I didn't need to do. And the buffed nail worked as if I did have a matte top coat on. So I dipped my brush into the acetone and I'm just spreading the white art ink around until I see a design that I like. Now these metallic art inks do dry really quickly, so you don't have to really worry about the color not going where you don't want it or oversaturating the cuticle. Now I have done that. Leave it to me to get art ink in my cuticle area. So I'm just adding and getting rid of product until I get the design I'm looking for. Okay, and once I'm happy with the design that I created, I'm going in with a very thin layer of the one step just to soften up that white a little bit more and kind of give the nail a foggy look. And then cure for 30 seconds. So I wiped the dispersion layer off. I didn't put a matte top coat on this layer. I left it shiny and I wanted to leave it shiny to have a little bit more freedom of where the art ink goes. If you use a matte top coat, the art ink just sort of sticks to it, which is what it's supposed to do. And that's not the look I was going for. So after I've let the art ink dry, I go in with a second layer of the pink one step and apply a very thin layer to just get that pink foggy look. And also I'm applying it very thinly because I don't want to do any more finish filing. I will tweak the shape a little bit and buff, but I don't want to do some major filing. So I'm going to do the same steps on the remaining fingers and I'm going to apply the art inks each step on each nail. And then that way the art inks get to dry fully before I go in with the pink one step. You'll see what I mean. So now that I've finished applying the art inks to all the nails, I'm going to go back to the very first nail and apply the thin layer of pink one step. And as you can see, the art inks are not bleeding, they stay put, so I know that I have let the art inks dry long enough. After I've put a thin layer on all the nails, I will cure for a full 30 seconds. Now that the nails are fully cured, I will wipe the dispersion layer off with 99% isopropyl alcohol and go in on a shiny surface with the art inks again. And one thing I should mention, if you have too much acetone or liquid in your brush, the art ink will flow quite freely, and then you run the risk of having the product run into the sidewalls and cuticles, which I have done. So just a little tip there for you is make sure that you have just the right amount of liquid. See, did you see that? All that acetone went right into my cuticle. So yeah, just drain the brush off on a paper towel so you don't get that flooding of the cuticle. I hope that makes sense. If not, comment down below and I'll try to explain it to you better. I also wanted to mention that when I go in with this second layer of art inks, I'm going crossways of the layer that's underneath. So that kind of gives that depth and dimension of, like, when you look into a rose quartz crystal, there's layers upon layers of different white lines that just go everywhere. And that's kind of the look I was trying to create with just 2 layers. And then after I finish applying the art inks, I go back to the first finger I started with and I apply a very thin layer of the pink white step again, and I will do a full cure for 30 seconds. Okay, now that the nails have been fully cured, I will wipe the dispersion layer off with alcohol, and then I'm going to take my new favorite finish file from Light Elegance and just detach any gel that might be on the skin and just super refine the shape. Then, just to make sure everything is really smooth, I will take my coarse sponge buffer from Ugly Duckling and just lightly buff the nails. I am not doing a harsh buff where I'm taking a whole lot of product off or using a 100 grit file, because I don't need to do any filing. I did that at the very beginning. So here I'm just trying to make it as smooth as possible before I add the super shiny. Then when I'm done buffing, I will wipe with alcohol again and go in with the top coat. Now, I love Light Elegance's super shiny top coat. It is so shiny, it lasts 4 weeks or longer with the shine. It doesn't chip, I don't find it stains, and I don't find it scratches either. It's just such a superior product, and I love using it on hard gel. And once I've finished applying the super shiny, I will give it a full cure of 1 minute in an LED light, wait about 30 seconds, and then take the dispersion layer off. So I decided to use white opal Swarovski crystals with Beamy's caviar beads, and I'm going to apply them using Ugly Duckling Stick It. I've got a micro swab here, and I'm just putting the Stick It down to where I know the crystals are going to go. Once the crystals and the caviar beads are exactly where I want them, I will do a full cure of 1 minute. And then I will outline everything with the super shiny. As you can see I'm doing here, I'm using my Detailer 2 brush from Ugly Duckling. I like using this brush because the bristles are so small that I can get really close to the crystals without hitting the crystals with the top coat, and close to my cuticles without getting the top coat on my cuticles. Then I will cure for another minute, wipe the dispersion layer off, and here's the finished result. So another very easy design that you guys can do. So simple, it doesn't take a lot of hard work or concentration. I like random art type designs where you don't need to be finicky or picky. That's my jam. So I love doing rose quartz. I don't do them enough, but I think I might start. So that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please comment them down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.